Hello, Bill DeWeese here from voice-over-training.org with some more important information to help you grow your voiceover business. Now, at the risk of sounding like I'm repeating myself, I want to touch base on something talked about before, but you know what? When it comes to excelling in any area of endeavor or discipline, it's all about knowing the fundamentals. And sometimes we want to get onto the sexier, more glamorous type of stuff, the stuff that we think is more fun or exciting. But when it all comes down to it, we've got to know and we have to be able to master and execute the fundamentals. And I want to start really at square one, and that's to talk to you about the importance of voice over training. It is important. It is critically important. You have to remember, in the voiceover business, there are no shortcuts. You cannot market yourself until you have a great demo and hopefully a website. And you cannot record and make a good demo until you have been properly trained. When I decided to launch out into my own voiceover business, almost 5 years now, the first thing that I did was went out and found myself a good voiceover coach. Now, I had been working behind a microphone within the radio industry for a long time, approximately 25 years. So I knew a little bit, and I had recorded hundreds, literally thousands of commercials prior to that, but not specifically within the voiceover industry. Radio and voiceover are two totally different animals. And I realized that to be good, that I needed to get information. And again, it's not just a matter of being good. It's a matter of understanding the business and of marketing myself as well. But I understood that I needed to go out and get good training. And let me share with you a story that I've shared before, but I think this illustrates the importance so well. I love to play golf. I won't go so far as to say I'm a golfer, because to say you're a golfer kind of implies that you're good. I wouldn't go so far as to say I'm good. Sometimes I'm brilliant. Most of the times I'm not. You know how it is. One shot, keeps you coming back again and again. But several years ago, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, after playing golf the better part of my life, I decided to be instructed by a golf professional. Finally, after years of playing and enjoying and of also being frustrated by the game, I spent literally 15 or 20 minutes with a teaching pro. After the 15 or 20 minutes of having him doing an initial evaluation of my golf swing and giving me a few things to help me properly execute my golf swing, I literally went out in my next round of 18 holes. I lowered my score 12 strokes. I kid you not. And I added 20 yards to my driving after only 15 or 20 minutes of professional instruction. After years, literally decades, of going out and trying to figure it out by myself and having all of my friends, and you know how it is, the people you play golf with, even people you don't know, if they're in the neighborhood, are more than glad to offer their professional advice and their observation, on your golf game. But it was after spending time with a golf professional that I saw immediate improvement. The best talent, also, not only beginners, but the best talent need good coaches. You have to look no further than great athletes, people like Tiger Woods and when Michael Jordan was playing basketball, and all the great athletes of today. They all have good coaches. Great voiceover talent have good coaches. So let's talk about a few things relating to voiceover coaching and trainers. If you're looking for a good voiceover coach, these are the things that I would be looking for as you go out and shop for a voiceover coach. Number one, are they good? And that's somewhat of a subjective thing. How do you know if they're good? Well, look at people that they've trained or they've taught before. Look at the work that they do. Do they have credible work? Do they have agents? Now, you've probably heard me say that having an agent is in no way a prerequisite to being successful in your career. I have 14 of them. And if I lost them all today, it would barely affect my income, at all. But having an agent, a good agent in a good size market, is an indicator that somebody who knows something about the business has validated your ability by signing you and representing you. So that's something that you might want to look at in terms of deciding as to whether they are good or not. Also, and I think this is really important, how much money do they make as a voiceover talent? Not as a voiceover coach, as a voiceover talent. And let me tell you why. There are plenty of very talented voiceover folks who cannot make enough money to do it as a full-time living. I mean, there are a lot of very, very gifted and talented voiceover talent. They just can't make much money doing it. It has nothing to do with their talent. There's the mistaken notion that talent equals success in voiceovers. Well, I can tell you this, no talent will equal no success. That's a given. But once you receive, or once you've been trained and you've developed your talent to a certain level, it does not guarantee you success. Having a great demo doesn't guarantee you success. Having a great website doesn't guarantee you success. Knowing how to run, operate, and market your business has a lot to do with it once you've developed yourself to a certain level of professionalism. And if you want to be making a certain level of income, make sure that the person who's coaching you has achieved that themselves. Otherwise, how in the world can they teach you how to do that? Also, can they teach? Just because you can do something, just because you're a good practitioner, doesn't mean you can teach somebody else to do it. Just because you're a good auto mechanic doesn't mean you can teach somebody else how to be a good auto mechanic. Just because you're good at anything doesn't mean you can teach somebody else to be good at it. Believe me, I know. My background is as a teacher, and I was a college professor for a number of years. And it's amazing to me the number of people, who are teachers who really know very little about communicating, and teaching their students. Also, being a former instructional design executive. Instructional design is actually the science of how to teach and train people effectively. And the company I worked in, we would go into Fortune 500 companies and train and teach their employees to operate for peak performance. And believe me, there are a lot of people within these companies that we worked who are very knowledgeable. They were great subject matter experts, but they were clueless when it came to teaching other people within the organization to be able to do what they do or to know what they know. So are they good? How much money do they make? Do they make the amount of money that you want to make or that you need to make as a voiceover talent? Can they teach it? And also, finally, I would ask, who is their coach? If somebody has stopped getting instruction and training on an ongoing basis, and I don't care who they are and how good they are, then you might want to think twice about working with them, because that person may feel that they are at a level where they do not need any further development. And when that point comes in your career, you begin to die, because you're either moving forward and you're growing, or you're moving backwards and you're dying. So find yourself, if you have not yet, a good coach. If you are well established in your career, make sure that you find opportunities for continued education, for continued growth and development, to be challenged, to be growing, to be moving forward in your voiceover business. I hope you found this information helpful, and I wish you all the best in your voiceover career. For more information or resources on building your voiceover business, please check out voice-over-training.org. And until next time, all the best in your voiceover business.